Folks, very cool to see Matt Travis get a shout out on AEW tonight. Matt Travis is a wrestler from House of Glory, CZW, recently passed away. So once again, we want to show him some love, dedicate the show to him. But with that being said, folks, welcome to Everything Pro Wrestling. Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans, for the fans. I am your host, Conrad Cushman. Joining me today, my co-host, Derek Shelton.
What's up, family?
We are here to review AEW Dynamite. It was live tonight in Nashville, Tennessee. Was Elvis from there? It's the home of country music, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Home of country music. And before we get into that, folks, how can you guys help out the podcast? Well, first and foremost, do me a favor by clicking that like button. Really helps out with the algorithm, helps more people see the video. And also, if you are watching this after the fact, don't be afraid to comment down below your thoughts. I still want to hear from you. And if you guys are here, make sure you're in the live chat talking with people. We got King in here and Thomas Polster. What is going on, everybody? Oh, Jesus coming in. Jesus has sub to Derek.
What's up, Jesus?
What's up with that, Jesus? No love? No love for the OG who started it all? Hey, what's going on, Ted Bell? Missed you guys on Full Gear Night, but I called that MJF turn. You damn right, Ted. Jesus called me a bitch ass. That's very nice of you. Good to see you, Jesus. We're going to review AEW Dynamite tonight. Show is in Nashville, Tennessee. Got a lot of good things to talk about, but guys, if you didn't know, I am up for the Wrestling Podcast Awards. If you guys have not had the opportunity to vote, we have a Google Docs. It's on our Facebook page, Twitter. Communicate with me somehow and I'll get it to you. But we need to vote Everything Pro Wrestling. We are in almost every single category. Make sure you vote for us so we can come home with the gold. And it's not voting for me. I'd like for you to think of it as voting for yourselves because, like I said, this show is by the fans, for the fans. What did you think of it?
I think that's a good way to come back off of a pay-per-view. You know, show the highlights, show everything that happened. I think it's a good way to start.
Yeah, good way to show what you missed out on.
Right.
What you should have spent your $50 on, so that way you don't miss out. You're not in the loop and you got to wait to see what happened.
Exactly.
We start off with JR, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur. They're running down the card for tonight, which we're going to run through anyway. So they go through the card, and then we get this backstage kind of promo segment with Kenny Omega, the best bout machine. What did you think of this, D?
I liked it. This was basically showing that Kenny Omega, he put himself through hell. Basically,
back was cut up from the barbed wire. His eye.
Oh my God, his eye was horrible.
I think that shiner came from the Phoenix splash that he missed when the ring was exposed right onto there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Could you imagine getting a splinter in that shit? Terrible.
I wouldn't even move. I'd be done for the day.
Yes.
But honestly, this shows. And then the part where he asked about John Moxley and he was like, "Well, Moxley basically was cleared," and that pretty much almost looked like that was going to send him into a depression almost, because he was like, "Well, how is he cleared, and I'm not cleared?" I'm a little confused as to how it's happening, and I like that.
Yeah, I think it portrays into that you fought this type of match that Moxley is known for, what he is good at,
right?
And Kenny Omega took the L. And I think he's going to take it personal. But it moves on in storytelling, forward progression. Not mad at it.
Not at all.
We get into the first match. We start off with John Moxley, and he is taking on Mr. Michael Nakazawa. And in this, Michael Nakazawa was shown backstage with Kenny Omega. Obviously, the two are good friends. And this is how this match gets brought up. Michael Nakazawa hasn't really done too much since coming into AEW. He's more of a comedy character, in my opinion.
Pretty much.
But Moxley comes through the crowd, legit badass, and normally he puts on all this body oil and stuff to get the match started as part of his comedy act, and he didn't do that tonight. He threw the body oil away because he wanted this to be known, hey, this is serious.
Yeah.
And John Moxley proceeded to whoop his ass. He caught him with some mean clotheslines, punched him, and randomly a DDT picks up the win.
It caught me off guard. I looked away for like a second, and I heard was 1, 2, 3. I'm like, what? Wait a minute, what happened? And then I looked back at the replay. I'm like, damn, John, like that's how you feel?
Yeah. Rob's giving a shout out to NXT. Good to see you in here as well, Rob. I appreciate it, boys. Make sure you guys are sharing this as well.
I won't do
What?
that.
Oh yeah, please don't. Show some respect, man. Best show that WWE's got. Let's show some respect. So Moxley gets the win. Afterwards, Moxley asks for a microphone. He gets on the microphone, and he said that one counts, right? Immediately a shot at what was happening with Tony Khan and everything else. Right. And I thought that was wise, though. So Moxley picks up another win in the column. JR even said that, hey, he's not working hourly. Yeah, so he makes quick work of him. I like it. And he talks about whose next challenge is going to be. He said, who is bad enough to get in the ring with someone as dangerous as him? And he's putting over the fact that he is one of the most dangerous wrestlers in AEW. Right. I like it. Very well done. So he put out an open challenge. Nobody comes out just yet.
Not just yet.
D, let's get into the next match. We had the Dark Order versus Jungle Express. This is Marco Stunt and Jungle Boy. You had some interesting things to say about this. So what did you think of, let's start with the Dark Order.
Honestly, at first, when Dark Order came out, I was like, I don't really care for this team. But then I had to reel myself back in. Because the Dark Order, they don't really have, like, people are booing them, which they should because they're not faces. They're heels. But I think people are booing them for the wrong reason. Because we don't really have a backstory on them.
Maybe, I feel like maybe that's not the point, though, at this point in the juncture. Maybe it's you're not supposed to know why they have the little minions, why they look like creepy dudes and shit.
And that's true. That may be something that'd be further down the line. But to me, it was like, I don't understand the Dark Order, and I didn't have a backstory, so I'm like, forget this team. But then I'm like, you know what? These guys could actually wrestle. Let me take it as just heels instead of heels with no backstory.
Yeah, touche with that. And they're trying to do their thing. And then you had some thoughts. Let's get into the Jungle Express a little bit too.
You know what? They have. At first, I was not big on Jungle Express. You know, the only one I really liked out of that group was Luchasaurus. But now Marco Stunt and Jungle Boy have started to grow on me a lot because now I can see like how much they put in to put on a good show for the people, and I'm like, okay, now I'm starting to respect them a lot more.
Yeah, Brandon was here. He's not in the chat right now, I don't believe, but he heard my dad talking downstairs. My dad is not a fan of Marco Stunt. Not a fan. Says he's too small. But I thought Marco did pretty good here. They utilized him pretty well. Some people don't like all the offense he gets. I'm not mad at that, though. I think that it's not such a bad thing.
I mean, but if you really think about it, you're mad about the offense that he gets. But then you also have to think, that's the same kind of offense that Rey Mysterio gets. Granted, yes, Rey Mysterio is a legend, but that's still the same kind of offense that Rey gets. That's the same kind of offense that Rey puts out. So, I mean, honestly, for someone of his stature and his height, you really can't be mad about the offense that he's getting.
Hold on. This is for Jesus. Call me Brandon Cutler. Tired of your shit. So, the Dark Order and Jungle Express lock up in here. Good back and forth match, but it was the same result, kind of. Yeah. Marco makes a big mistake, and he ends up costing his team the match. Dark Order with the backpack stunner. I don't know if there's a name for that quite yet. If somebody in the chat knows, please enlighten me. But backpack stunner for the win. Dark Order, after the match, gets in the ring. The little minions are out there, and Evil Uno offers Marco Stunt a spot. What do you think with that, D? Any foreshadowing to you, or?
You know what? The moment I saw that, I felt like that was the moment that Marco was contemplating on leaving, because they haven't been the best that they can be with Luchasaurus. So now that Luchasaurus has been injured.
Well, we'll get to that then. So Jungle Boy hops in and he knocks the mask down and puts the dinosaur mask in his face that Luchasaurus gave Marco Stunt. And then that leads to a beatdown of them getting jumped by the minions in the Dark Order. But then Luchasaurus theme hits and people go ape shit for it. They're creepers, he said. And Marco is holding Jungle Boy back. Well, Luchasaurus appears to be back. He was moving kind of gingerly, though, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I think he's still feeling the effects from the what was it, torn hamstring.
And what's up, Donnie, in the chat? Thomas Polster said, glad to see Luchasaurus back. Hope he doesn't come back too soon and is fully healed. That's my concern, because that ginger walk he had, I don't mind if he's going to be out of segments. Let Luchasaurus come to the ring with them, manage them. But he got involved in this one. He was choke slamming people. He looked like a monster. He even kicks, what did they call it? The tail whip?
Yeah.
He did like a spinning kick similar to Aleister Black's. It took out 3 people. Luchasaurus is a badass, man. He is someone who I think could be in the main event picture.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So he's one of the 3, I think. I have 3 people in mind right now that I'm like, these guys will rise pretty quickly if you let them in AEW.
Right.
Good save for Luchasaurus, so the people were happy to have him back.
Right.
Let's get into match number 3. We had a triple threat match with Shawn Spears, accompanied by Tully Blanchard, versus Darby Allin versus Peter Avalon, the Librarian. Now, I guess in the beginning of this match is when Joey Janela comes out.
Yeah, so the match probably gets going for maybe about 5 minutes or so. Then all of a sudden, Joey Janela comes out. He's trying to finish up with Shawn Spears. Get his payback back. And then I get that. So now technically the triple threat match turns into a singles match with Darby Allin and what's his name?
Peter Avalon.
Peter Avalon. Forgive me. This is my first time actually really seeing him, and so it's gonna take me a minute to get to remember his name. But the only downfall I had with this match was Peter Avalon. This is his first time on TV. So honestly, I don't think a triple threat should have happened. I think if something was going to happen with him, it should have been just a one-on-one match. But that was the only real downfall to it. It's like he just seemed a little too nervous. But this is his first time on TV, so I'm not gonna hold that against him. Anybody who gets like that, like Britt Baker. Britt Baker was the same way.
Right. Peter Avalon. He had some misses in all of this, but it ended up being him and Darby Allin in the ring. Darby Allin is the equivalent, and this is with all due respect, to the Jeff Hardy of AEW.
Yes.
There is a presence about him that people like. Skateboard kids could get into him. The emo kids could probably get into him.
Right.
And he hits the coffin drop on Avalon for the 1, 2, 3. Afterwards, though, we see something weird. He calls for the microphone. You have 2 of the 3. 2 of the 3 right now, Thomas. I'll let you take a guess before the end of this review as to who the 3rd could be. So, but Allen's not far off.
Hold on. You're friendly otaku?
Yeah, he said he left me a like on here.
Yeah, much respect, bro.
Thank you, sir. He does video game reviews if you guys want to check out his channel. Jesus said Darby over Jeff. Yes, the coffin drop. Put him in a coffin. So he gets on the microphone after and he says, John Moxley, I accept. Pretty dope. Pretty dope. Could you imagine seeing Moxley and Darby Allin? That's going to be a brawl.
The first...
Robert, too soon for that joke. Minus the drugs, he said.
Shoot.
Darby Allin is straight edge, by the way.
Yes. I would love to see Darby Allin and John Moxley. I think the first match that's going to happen is going to be I honestly feel like it's going to be a one-on-one, and then I think it's going to turn into a street fight.
Well, we'll get to that. So, here, the weird pacing of this show, to me, it felt weird. I don't know if the chat feels this way, too. Let me know what you guys thought of it. But everything felt like it was happening like this at this point. Like this, we saw the video packages. We get to Moxley and Nakazawa. Then Moxley's on the microphone. Then the Dark Order's coming out. We go to a commercial. We're back. They're in the middle of the match. Backpack Stunner. He comes. Luchasaurus comes back. He's back out. Sean Spears, Tully Blanchard are coming out. Commercial. We're right back into the action. Darby Allin accepts the challenge from Moxley. So much shit has happened in that little amount of time. I'm talking fast on purpose because
that's how it felt.
Exactly.
It felt like it was nonstop, and I'm like, damn, wait a minute, slow down.
Nyla Rose then took on Danny Jordan. Nyla Rose came out. She had a different presence about her. You noticed it tonight. Yeah. You didn't really seem like you knew what's going on, Connor.
What's up, Connor? Obi-Wan, what's up?
Obi-Wan. Need one more like to hit that 10, folks. Help a brother out. Go ahead.
Yeah, it caught me off guard because I didn't see her come out with the mask before. So when I seen it, I'm like, who the hell is this? And I'm like, and then he said it was Nyla Rose. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, I can see that.
Don't repeat that one, King. We see you though in the chat.
Yeah, King, we got you.
Nyla Rose. So when she came out, I felt like she had this star power to her tonight. Like there was something more to her, and dare I say, that's what you're supposed to do with someone in her position, though.
Yes, dare I say that this is what I would call the female version of AEW's female Brock Lesnar right now. Except for Kong, because Kong is not really doing anything right now. So right now we can't really say who's the real dominant woman for the AEW division, because Kong hasn't wrestled. Nyla has been wrestling. So as of right now, Nyla Rose is pretty much like the female version of Brock Lesnar right now.
Yeah, she just dominated in this one. Danny Jordan, I thought she looked all right here. She didn't look bad.
No, she put up a good fight. It's one of those.
You got brought in to put someone over, so that's fine. Nyla Rose hits what she calls the Beast Bomb, which is basically the Batista Bomb,
right?
And knocks the shit out of Danny Jordan. It looked good though. I like that as a finish for her.
She put a lot of force into that, so
and Danny Jordan sold it like she got murdered.
Yes.
So good job here. Nyla Rose picks up the win. Not mad.
Not mad at all.
So we get an announcement here, folks, and I'm going to break it down and give you some old school kind of vibes when we're talking about this. So we get an announcement for next week. They are having the Dynamite Dozen. It looks like it's for an AEW ring. So here's the rules for it. It sounds like we start off with 12 people in the ring. Once we get down to the final 2, they will battle it out for this ring. I don't know what this ring does. It kind of reminds me of the WCW concept Battle Bowl. If you guys aren't familiar with it, they used to have random guys team up. For example, you would have Brian Pillman team with the Great Muta to face off against Ron Simmons and Rick Steiner. And the two would win, and then the winners would advance to a battle royal over the top rope. Very different booking. So I'm interested to see how they use this ring and maybe what the ring's value is, what it holds, maybe a title shot, something. I don't know how this is going to work for me. Let's get to the chat real quick here. Thomas Polster says, Nyla Rose for me is more of a Braun Strowman 2017. Could still go either way, though. And Rob said, I'll let you say that one. Go ahead, D. Let it out.
Kiss the rings, bitch.
Next, we get an interview segment. Once again, we're still on this. Boom, 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 boom. It's all happening so fast. Allie with Tony Schiavone. We are getting an interview with Awesome Kong with Allie with Tony Schiavone, and then the lights go out in the middle of it. Awesome Kong and Brandy show up.
Right.
Not surprised by this because Allie and Brandy seem to have had a previous feud that was going on for a little bit. Never mind that shit. Here comes Mongo. Stop with the botchamania, Rob. They come out, and Kong delivered kind of a weak back fist.
Yeah.
I know Kong could probably really smack the shit out of somebody. So,
but you know what though? At initial sighting, it looked weak. Then when I thought about it, I think it had to be that way because of the way that the girl was selling.
Yeah, maybe. But she knocks her down, and this leads to another hair cutting ritual. They use the knife once again to cut the hair. I'm not mad. No. I'm not mad how they did it.
I definitely want to see what
the bunny.
I definitely want to see what's the purpose of cutting off the hair.
I think they're just trying to be weird creepos. Do you guys like Brandy and Kong in these roles better? That's kind of more of the interesting question. Do these roles fit them, or is the jury still out on this?
To me, the jury's still out because we actually don't really have a...
Allie and Brandy's beef goes all the way back to Impact. Yes, that probably is true.
All right, well, then there you go. The only beef I have with this is there's really like no clear-cut reason as to why they
are attacking people.
Yeah, and why they paired up.
King says voodoo. I don't know. Maybe that's what this is supposed to all be about. I don't know, but with me, Kong and Brandy is kind of a let's watch and see what happens at this point.
Only thing I need Brandy to do is change them shoes. Looking like a damn teacher.
Thick ass heels. Rob says hopefully we don't get a singles match between the two. Rob is not a fan of that. Maybe we'll see. Like I would be fine with it on Dynamite. Damn sure not on pay-per-view, but Dynamite I don't care.
Yeah.
Depends on how you build the feud up, though. Maybe it could work. Same thing with the Dark Order. What's their purpose? I think we're not supposed to know, though. I'm still going to stand with that with the Dark Order. I don't think they have a purpose. I mean, they do. They're trying to capture the tag titles, but I don't think we're supposed to know why they're that way. How did they get that way? It's just kind of,
I think it'll come down to somewhere down the line where the backstory comes out, but I don't think it comes out because of them. I think somebody finds that
exposes them.
Yeah,
that could be a way to do it. Let's get to what I thought was segment of the night here. AEW champion Chris Jericho comes out cutting a promo on Cody. He called him a millennial son of a bitch in this. He was talking about being the Le Champion of AEW. Little bit of the bubbly. Jericho was on a roll in this one, and in the middle of it, the lights go out. You get Cody's entrance. The lights are coming up, and we're all wrestling fans for long enough. And I knew as soon as I started hearing the music get ready to riff, I'm like, it's going to be MJF.
Yep.
That son of a bitch. MJF comes out to Cody's theme. He gets all the fireworks. So for everyone who's been bitching, complaining about, Cody always gets all the fireworks in the great entrance, MJF got it tonight. So
there you go. Somebody different. And don't say, well, it's still Cody's. No, Cody didn't come out with that.
So MJF's reason for doing this, he said that he was the closest to Cody Rhodes, and he said Cody does not care about any of these fans.
Just cares about himself.
He said Cody is a user and abuser. Very weird. And this gets to a point where MJF cuts a long promo and Jericho is still in the ring and he's behind him and they're going back and forth. They're toe to toe, face to face talking about this. And the Inner Circle comes up and they do the whole, do you want me to be in the Inner Circle? Do you want to be in the Inner Circle? And they kept going back and forth. And they start talking about, well, who is the biggest jackass in AEW? And they're looking like they're going to say each other, but what do they say? It's Cody! They laugh it off, and all of a sudden, they hug it out afterwards, and I don't know if that means MJF accepted it. Live chat, do you think MJF's in the Inner Circle? Because I saw some debate about this on Twitter and Facebook.
To me, I don't think he's in the Inner Circle. I think he is affiliated with them, but it comes at a price, honestly.
Some people thought MJF's starting his own, based on what happens throughout the rest of the segment here. When the fans shouted asshole at MJF, I was talking, I felt that. That's real heel heat. On Twitter, I had to put holy heel heat, hashtag wrestling community. I got some good likes on that. Jericho and KO vibe. I loved it.
Yeah.
He says not yet. Jesus doesn't believe he's part of the Inner Circle yet. So Cody comes out afterwards. And, it looks like they're going to stop Cody. Cody's into the whole Mid-South wrestling. So, he's got to go in there and be the babyface. And he goes in. He starts whooping tail. Dropping down. Yeah. And he goes in. And Jericho, he goes for that snapping body slam on him like his brother Dustin. And...
But you know what, though?
They botched it, but they made it look good.
Yes, because JR, if you really think about it, the way that JR covered it up makes a lot of sense. Because To us, it looks like a botch. But the way that JR covered it up, you can say Cody Rhodes' equilibrium is off.
Yeah,
JR
had
covered that head injury.
JR covered it up really well, and I think that they should have had maybe Jericho throw some punches at him real quick. Yeah. But Jericho ends up rolling off, and he still eats the body slam because he knew he messed up. So he ate the body slam still. And as soon as MJF's in trouble again, someone comes from out of nowhere, from outside in the crowd, and it's a big, tall dude who we've seen in video packages. It's Wardlow.
Right.
And he comes out, and he's wearing a nice three-piece suit, but he has on a Burberry tie. Light bulb goes off. This man is associated with MJF. Uh-oh, what is good? Oh, snap, Chris. Uh-oh. Oh, Tiff coming in here. Chris Standler on AEW Dark. Nice. JR Snicker Crunch. JR Barbecue Sauce. He comes out, though. Wardlow ends up taking off that tie, and he is choking Cody with the tie. And you don't get to see stuff like that on WWE. Wait for them to be different once again.
Right.
Daniel Bryan got fired for choking Justin Roberts with the tie one time. Stupid shit.
Very stupid.
Shout out to Mattel for that. He chokes him out with the tie, and Wardlow looks like he is going to be the Diesel to MJF's Shawn Michaels bodyguard type of role.
That's what it seems like.
Were you impressed with Wardlow, D?
Not right now. Right now.
And she says she's from Creative Pro. That is MJF school too, Tiff. So good point on that.
As of right now, I'm not sold on him yet because I wasn't sold on the video packages.
Connor, you did ask me who Wardlow was. He's from ICW, I believe.
I need to see more because just by him coming in and being the brutes on somebody who basically can't stand on his own 2 feet, really, I can't really buy into it. Not right now.
Rob said the Burberry boys are in the building. I'm sorry.
and listen, Wardlow has already proven my case as to what I said about Full Gear with Cody Rhodes.
What?
Was it Full Gear? No, before Full. The Go Home show for Full Gear. Nobody, and I mean nobody.
Shout out to Kurt Hawkins.
Nobody can pull off the smoothest tie snatch ever done by Cody Rhodes. You saw Wardlow. He was like, all right, I'm gonna take this off. Cody Rhodes got the smoothest. I'm going to take this tie off and beat the fuck out of you.
Cody knows what he's doing when it comes to that. Cody's eye ended up opening up too. Very disgusting. Started seeing the blood come from it again. Cody took an ass whooping here.
Yes.
So it makes me wonder, where are we going with a lot of this? Some people are wondering maybe if the match Beyond returns at the next pay-per-view. Do we get a War Game style match? The verdict is still out, so we're going to have to watch in the upcoming weeks to see what is happening with this MJF Cody storyline. Next up, we have Pac versus Adam Hangman Page in a rubber match. They're both 1-1 against each other. Who gets the better of this feud? And this was a match that I ended up missing part of because I had to leave the room. Thoughts on it, though, D?
As of right now, I can say I'm glad that the rubber match is over. Because honestly, I'm not a big Hangman.
Boo! Cowboy shit.
That's all he's good for, to me. But not to say that he's not a good wrestler. He's a good wrestler, but I don't care for this feud anymore. Because I feel like this feud was already built on Pac winning the feud. Period.
King said best of 7.
Best of 7.
Chris Benoit, Booker T back in the day. But to me, this isn't bad, though. I feel like these two are on equal footing. Like, Hangman Page is someone, I've always told you guys this. Hangman Page is someone who I doubted when I first saw him years ago. And I just was like, I don't see it yet. Not with this gimmick. And he eventually changed his gimmick to become the Hangman, joined the Bullet Club and everything else. And Hangman Page is a star now. I have to admit I was 100% wrong about him. The dude is really good. And Pac, I knew he was good a long time ago, back in his days in New Japan and everything else. He gets the win with the brutalizer here. Hangman, you said passed out from it?
So what happened was Hangman had Pac, and he was basically getting ready to push him into the corner, but the referee was there. You know, Pac went for the low blow. Hangman blocked it. But at the same time, Pac did a what was it? Not spinning heel kick, I believe. I took my eyes off of it for a second, but then he basically kicked Hangman in the head, so that pretty much kind of knocked him out. That was like the beginning of the end right there, and then he was like stomping him on the head. So then after like the first 10 stomps, you could tell Hangman was done. He was out. So then Pac goes up, or no, he does a few more, and refs is still trying to stop him, but then he leaves him alone, turns him over, goes up to top for the Black Arrow, boom, falls down. He gets him, then puts him in the brutalizer. Hangman is already knocked out. The ref is looking. It took about 2 seconds before the ref said, "All right, call the bell." Ref's trying to get Pac off.
Rob, you disrespectful piece of shit. He said Hangman was a butt crumb even when he joined Bullet Club. He was on Chase Owens territory. You take that back, sir. I'm the best wrestling in the backyards. I'm the best wrestling in the backyard. Stop it, King. So, Hangman gets the win here. I think he moves up in the rankings, though, from this. Yeah. He's done his thing. He's got to be getting close to being in line for a title shot or in contention for a number one contendership.
I think he has to pull off a major upset for him to get the full consideration. I think he's in talks, but he's not in full consideration.
Yeah, I don't know. We're going to have to see who's next in line, too, because there's no clear-cut number one contender at this point.
No.
Maybe. There's something you could argue, but we'll get into that. D, let's talk about this cut. So I walk back in. All of a sudden, I see someone getting body slammed through a table. Ortiz is going through a table from one of the Young Bucks. Santana's on top of a freaking forklift.
Yeah, he's on a forklift.
Jumped off that shit right on top of them. These guys are brawling all over the arena, getting ready to be out there. They're fighting. And Santana, right before we get to the commercial break, puts one of the Young Bucks, I believe it was Matt Jackson, through a door. Creepy as hell. We see Orange Cassidy in the bathroom, just standing there with his foot up against the wall, sitting there chilling. Like, what is this? It was so random, but so good. Tiff says that she loved that segment.
That was a great segment.
Hell yeah, Tiff. I 100% agree with you on that. That was just a great moment. Here's the weird part. What about the commercials? Brandon was here and he said he wasn't feeling the commercials. Did they stop in the middle of the action too much tonight?
Yes and no.
Like this one I felt was kind of bad placement because the brawl was still continuing, but that was a long ass brawl though for people to sit through.
Yeah. I think it would have been different if they would have taken the WWE route back in the Attitude Era days where you got the brawl and everything, and then you went to commercial break, and then like the brawl kind of it was off. The brawl was over, but then you got highlights of what the brawl was. Here you just got like a full brawl. Then the commercials cut in.
Well, and to be honest, you didn't miss anything. No. You came back to the Young Bucks super kicking the security.
Yeah.
And then they start getting ready to go back at it and fighting. And eventually Nick Jackson gets cornered after Matt Jackson gets powerbombed through the stage a la Rock and Roll Express. But this time Santana drew a circle on it as a bullseye, kind of the inner circle design.
Yeah,
slammed him through. Yo, Matt Jackson went through that shit hard as hell. That was like Eric Bischoff level. Like, damn, bro.
Exactly. Yeah, he got powerbombed super hard through that. Whatever that was.
Connor saying they stopped at some key points with the commercials. King said too many commercials. Got to pay the bills, boys. Yeah. I get it, though. So afterwards, they grabbed the baseballs. This would be like, I swear to you, every time I see this, I think this would be like Derek's weapon if he was a wrestler. The baseball's in the sock. And Nick Jackson's knee is caught against one of like the metal banisters where he jumped off of the week before. And they beat the shit out of his knee that was injured at Full Gear. and they went to work on it. I think this is a great way to take out one of the Young Bucks, at least for now.
And then turn it into a, eventually if they have a match, turn it into...
I think they need like a cage, maybe a cage match or something.
That would be nice.
I think the Young Bucks could do something really dope with them. Like, any type of specialty match that they put on with these guys will be really good.
Yes. Adding a cage match to AEW would be sick. That would be sick. Because you have the talent that can pull off a cage match.
Random questions, but what are your 2 favorite sides for Thanksgiving dinner? Macaroni and cheese and stuffing for me. I'm fat. I know.
Carrot cake and milk.
All right, so we get back to this. Brandon Cutler comes out. He's like, "Come on, guys, come on." This is why I got mad. You called me Brandon Cutler before, Jesus. Beat that ass if I ever see you getting a Ric Flair chop. And Donnie, don't think I forgot about you too. Orange Loganberry in the chat. He comes out trying to tell everybody to stop, and then they say, all right. And then when they're walking away, they're like, "Hey, Brandon, I lied." And they came back up and started beating his ass too.
Yeah.
Private Party came out though, and it really seemed to set it off.
Yeah.
Tiff's boys, Private Party from House of Glory, were out there, and she said, "I love that they did the dedication of Ortiz and Santana versus Private Party for Matt Travis, because they were all from House of Glory at one point in time, and that is really big." And if you guys didn't know, my girl Tiff in the chat is the queen of the indies, so make sure you guys check her out. She does a lot of good stuff. She's on the All Elite podcast as well. So see, Tiff, you come in, show you some love. Ortiz and Santana versus the Young Bucks in a prison style match. They might do the Concrete Jungle match that we saw in Impact. I thought that was kind of dope. That seemed also kind of dangerous too, but that's just me. But I can't wait to see it. So we ended up finding out some matches for next week. PNP versus Private Party. They also announced Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin.
Yes.
They got a big show next week.
Yeah.
And the AEW, what did I call it? The AEW Dozen?
Yeah.
Big shit next week. I'm interested to see what they do with that ring. What did Tiff say here? Matt Travis passed Saturday. He got killed by a dump truck. Yeah, Tiff, I brought it up in the very beginning. I dedicated the full gear review to him and this one. Really sucks. And King, thank you for putting that in the chat, man. I saw some people heckling JD from New York too. Cut that shit out, man. We're better than that wrestling community. Don't do that type of shit to people. I don't care if you don't like the guy. He's grieving over someone who he worked with, man. That's messed up.
Yeah. Yeah, get your fucking head out your ass, dude. Like, who gives a fuck what he did in his personal life? He's trying to show respect to somebody that he knew that he probably got along with, or even if he didn't get along with him, but he's still showing him and his family respect as to him passing away. So that little petty shit with JD, like,
someone shouldn't have did that to him.
Shut the fuck up and let that go.
You know that was a burner account though. So rest in peace to Matt Travis though. I can't wait to see that match next week. I know Private Party and the former LAX PNP, they're going to go out there and they're going to crush it. I guarantee it. That's going to be one you don't want to miss next week. Let's talk about the main event match for the AEW tag titles. SCU versus Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara. I'm just doing this to piss Donnie off. Guevara. Sammy G. As JR called him too.
AKA Spanish God.
Yes. Sammy Guevara is absolutely amazing in this one. They called him a Spanish god at least 6 times before the bell rang, I felt like. Jake Hager comes out with Chris Jericho, the Big Hurt. I really like him in this role. He has not spoken yet either. Perfect.
Honestly, I prefer it that way just because of of his stature. That this is a big guy. I feel like he doesn't need to speak. His wrestling is going to say all his words for him. But that's just my opinion. Everybody else can have something different. They may want him to speak for himself and all that kind of good stuff. But I think this is the way to go for him right now. Is just to be that silent, deadly type.
Yeah. Can't be mad at it. So, going into this one, D, what do you feel as far as who's winning? Who's got the advantage? What were you thinking going into this? Who did you think had this match?
I thought SCU had the match. Yeah, it would have been. Well, actually, no. I had SCU.
Too early for them maybe to lose the belts, right?
Yeah, it was too early. If anything, I see SCU losing the belts to the Lucha Bros.
Ooh, someone said Spanish God, the next Eddie Guerrero.
Don't disrespect.
Yeah, hey, you got to give people a chance. We'll see.
There's only one Eddie Guerrero. And to this day, was it 14 years ago since he's been gone?
Yeah. Rest in peace, Eddie.
Rest in peace, Eddie.
Damn.
Connor, you still my boy though.
Hey, that was King who said that.
Was it King?
Yeah, King said that. Connor just wrote Sammy G equals sexy Spanish God.
King and Connor, you still my boys.
So we get into this match back and forth, and I know Tom was trying to guess who I was talking about. It was the person who got the pinfall in this match who was in my top 3. I brought it up on the Queen of Ennie's live talk when we were talking about who we thought were future stars in AEW. MJF. Who was the other person I had just said before? It's gonna make me mad now if I don't remember who it was. I can't think of who it is now. It was somebody off the top of my head. It's gonna make me mad, but Thomas had guessed it before in the chat. Now I'm looking for it because it's gonna make me mad. There's Tom right here. Scorpio Sky's the other one, though. Scorpio Sky ends up getting the pinfall in this one with the roll-up. Him and Chris Jericho had a nice ending sequence.
Yeah, they did. That was perfect.
Yeah, really, really good stuff.
And you know what? That momentum is going to carry because nobody pinned Chris Jericho until Scorpio Sky did it.
Yeah, that's his first pinfall loss, and I'm not mad at it at all. I thought it was really dope. Oh, Luchasaurus.
Yes.
MJF, Luchasaurus, and Scorpio Sky are my 3 for right now. Darby Allin's your rising star, though, that you're going to get out of all of this. Thank you, Rob, for that. Latino Heat forever. I appreciate that, boys. I like seeing that. Luchasaurus, MJF, and I think Scorpio Sky, if pushed correctly and you make this SCU thing work, he's a future star, in my opinion. I think he could be world championship material.
I agree, because who else said? Somebody on commentary said Scorpio Sky was definitely like the most athletic out of everybody.
Was it what's his name? Excalibur? Might have been Excalibur.
I think Excalibur said it.
Darby is a beast. Absolutely, Tiff. Darby's on my rising stars. I definitely think so. And she said, take my money. Shoot, pass it over, girl. Leave a super chat. Yeah, Darby Allin, though, is really good. Tiff's probably been watching him for a long time on the Northeast Indies. Scorpio Sky with the pinfall was huge, though. It reminded me of, like, Sting pinning Ric Flair. Kind of that... I don't know why I'm comparing a lot of this to WCW. Maybe it's just giving me those vibes. But him pinning...
but if you really think about it, though, like, camera view is pretty much the same... as WCW,
parts of it, but you don't want to make those same mistakes that they were making.
No,
too.
Yeah, but like if you think about it, most of the camera is okay. So you look back at WCW, camera view. The hot camera view was always the camera view that was facing the ramp. AEW's is basically the same as everyone else's now. It's the opposite side of the ramp. Well, not opposite side of the ramp, but you walk into the ramp. Hot camera is your camera on the right, basically.
Yeah, I like the differences that they bring out with it. And Tiff brought up something really good that I've heard her and Queen talk about. So remember when Jericho won the title? He told Scorpio Sky, "You're never gonna get a shot at this title." So now Scorpio Sky is the first person to pin him. Wouldn't that put him in line to ask for a title shot? I think so.
Yes. I honestly, in my opinion, that would be the right way to say I should be #1 contender because nobody has pinned Chris Jericho but me.
That is a big factoroo. And I like it. SCU gets the win. They are still the tag team champions. Jesus brought up the Revival teasing the Young Bucks, I guess on a live event. They tweeted it out a few hours ago. The Revival were doing the Young Bucks pose at the live event, teasing furthermore that maybe we're going to see the Revival in AEW one day when their contracts run out. Time will tell. But I got y'all. Will PM it to you. Thank you. I'm not on Discord, Jesus. I don't think we're on the same Discord for something. But I'm going to open it up to questions because I saw King and Jesus had brought up some before. So if you guys want to fire off some rapid questions real quick, let me and D know. But let's get into it real quick, D. Chat, same for you guys. Thumbs up or thumbs down show?
Still giving a thumbs up.
Thumbs up. The pacing got better at the end there, I felt. Like, it kind of slowed down after.
I think they were rushing just a little bit. But I mean, you know, that's... I think what it was is they had the full gear highlights and all that kind of stuff, and they only got what 2-hour time limit.
Yeah. So
therefore, you can't pull off what WWE does with a 20 to 30 minute segment.
Tom says thumbs up. Dead Ass Podcast says so good. Huge thumbs up. Thumbs up. Lots of people digging it. I heard good things about NXT, but I know you guys had some questions before. I don't know if I can find them. Rob's just being a hater with the thumbs down.
TNX, Rob.
Yo, chill. NXT did sound like a good show. Josh Robinson was PMing me on Twitter, letting me know, and what he was saying sounded like a good show. Let's talk Jordan Miles real quick. Derek and Mr. Conrad, what's going on? PR Nightmare.
P, what's up?
Man, make sure you hit that like button, P. That's Nelson, if you guys didn't know. Shout out to my man. Let's talk real quick this Jordan Miles situation. Jordan Miles went on Twitter today and he said he quit WWE. He was sick and tired of it. Listen, at the end of the day, there's not really too much to say about this. Jordan Miles doesn't want to work for WWE. WWE's got people under contract. I don't know if they're going to let him go. I highly doubt it.
No.
He didn't do himself any favors, but here's my question to everybody who's saying, oh, he deserves this, he's disrespectful. What do you want someone to do when they feel that they've been treated unfairly or in a racist type of manner and there's nowhere else for them to go? Someone tell me the right answer then, because you can't say that's not the way to do things, but then not come up with a solution.
Right.
And I question that.
Can't say.
So to me, Jordan Miles did what he felt was right. WWE should have seen this coming. He said that if no one reached out to him, if nobody said anything, we don't know the whole backstory either behind what's happening. Did the t-shirt design, did it come off as racist? Yes. Do I think it was done on purpose? I don't know. I think they could have came up with a way better design than they did, though.
Honestly, I would say that it you can't really tell if it was done on purpose because you don't know the intentions. Because, I mean, think about it. Like, when have you had an incident like this in WWE?
Alberto Del Rio smacking one of the employees for saying something racist to him about his heritage.
Right.
Ridiculous. But there's a little bit of a problem with that stuff within. I've heard stories of R-Truth saying that, sorry, Bruce Pritchard, this is with all due respect, that Bruce Pritchard said a black guy would never rise up in this industry. This is a white man's world. Like, you don't say stuff like that. And Jordan Miles, and I don't know if that's true either. So let me just say that this is all hearsay, opinions.
But even if it is true or just opinions, you really can't say that it's a white man's world, because that's just your opinion. Because,
and this was years ago when R-Truth was like K-Quick.
Right. But that's just your opinion in this company. Other companies, you have black stars that have risen to the top and stayed there for a good amount of time. And then that also debunks what you just said. Because who was up there? The Rock.
Right, and The Rock is a black superstar in my opinion. I know some people don't like to say that, but I am also of a biracial background, we'll say, for this argument. And I always tell people, well, what if I did something? What would it be?
Right.
And everyone's like, well, I don't want to offend you or anything. And everybody just has it in their own mindset what race I am. That's for me to decide. I don't understand why it's such a big deal. Basically, stop being assholes, stop being racist, and consider someone else's feelings. If they feel that way about something, all right, well, let's work on this together. Right. WWE needs to get with their talent, and they also need to figure out their morale problem. You have a lot of people who want to leave there. They thought the Fox thing was going to make things better, and it hasn't. And I have a funny thing to tell you guys. I was seriously considering making a meme today with Eric Rowan coming out with that little box or whatever with the tarp over it, and someone was like, "What's in there?" And I swear to you, I so badly wanted to put Luke Harper's contract because it would have been hilarious, but I decided not to do it because it's cruel. I know some of the guys do want to get out of there.
You should have did it, bro.
The Rock is a black man. WWE wants left out. Triple H Booker T WrestleMania 19 booking and the results of the huge racial overtones. Yes, people tried to spin that shit a different way too. That's offensive, man. It made me upset to see that. Someone else had brought up something else in here WWE wise. I don't know if it was Jesus. Did someone bring up my favorite wrestler of the last 20 years? Maybe I wouldn't even say that. Mr. CM Punk. Do we talk about this now, or do you guys want it for Friday? Let me know now, because you got for... I'll give you guys a few minutes on it. Or do you want me to wait till the WWE talk on Friday? I'm going to let the live chat dictate this. What are you doing? What are you doing? And people sending me Disney Plus stuff right now.
Disney!
King said CM Punk. Do we talk about it? Do a little dance for me. Let's do it now, Jesus says. Fuck it, we'll do it live. CM Punk returned. Let me just say this. I was asleep when this happened last night because WWE Backstage has been trash. I'm not watching that shit. That's why I got 49,000 viewers last week. And I know that doesn't matter the number, but nobody's watching that shit because nothing exciting happens on it. No disrespect to Ryan Satin, but fuck, man, no. So, CM Punk comes back, and this morning when I wake up, my phone is lit the hell up like it's Christmas. And I'm like, what happened? All of a sudden I hit the button, and all of a sudden I'm like, yo, CM Punk. And he's been one of my favorite wrestlers for a long time. I told you guys for a while, if I ever do a CM Punk podcast, that may be the one you want to listen to, because I have very strong opinions about what happened with CM Punk. And I am going to light into someone the moment that it happens. And it's not going to be fans. It's going to be the WWE. Rob and some other people have heard me argue with people about it, and I will never let it go. So CM Punk is one of my favorites. Now, CM Punk does not work for WWE. He works for Fox. Just like the NFL analyst on Fox. They don't work for the NFL. They work for Fox.
Yes.
You don't have to consider all of that. So these guys are going to be out here doing their thing. Now. Hashtag choke out Jesus. Hashtag choke out Disney. We got some mean people out here. I'm happy CM Punk's back, though. He's one of my favorites. Him as an analyst, he's not going to be on every single week. They've already confirmed that. I just don't want to see CM Punk get kind of muted, you know? I don't want to see him have to say nice things about the product. Listen, to me, WWE is shit. And if he wants to say that, let him say that.
Exactly, yeah. Let him say what he's gonna say, because maybe you need somebody like CM Punk to say what he's gonna say and what he wants to say to actually get things moving again.
Perhaps, maybe Vince will listen. But King brought up Seth Rollins saying he wanted to wrestle CM Punk, and I think Ricochet said, "Let me get after you." So some of these guys are requesting to wrestle CM Punk.
But you know what though? That would be a good match between them.
It would, but does CM Punk want to wrestle? He sat down with Tony Khan and AEW to bring it back to the overlay here. They brought up AEW before. I feel like CM Punk doesn't want to be a part of this. Like I feel like he doesn't want to wrestle right now.
I honestly believe he is done for right now.
Like I said, this is a win for us in the wrestling community, period. I'm just glad CM Punk's back doing something with wrestling. Is it the end? No, I don't believe so for him.
No, I just think it's the end right now.
Yeah, so CM Punk is best in the world. Could he come back? I think if the price is right, maybe if the money bag is right, they're offering more money than they've ever offered before, so the chances are better than it's been.
Right, and hopefully if they do offer him to come back, hopefully it's on a better scale than what they gave him.
Yeah, PR Nightmare said that he may be missing out on WWE for a couple of months to a year to see if it gets better. Jesus says, what the F is with this obsession of choking me? Tom said, imagine Punk's reaction to the Hell in a Cell finish live. Oh my god. That is true. Who knows, man? I know the show's Everything Pro Wrestling, but I don't know how long those SmackDown reviews are going to continue, guys. I'm telling you, any week now, I might just say F it, and I'll move it to Thursday, and I'll talk WWE for a few minutes and keep it moving.
And nobody's going to have the best Hell in a Cell reaction than us.
Damn right. Damn right. Way to put over EPW.
We got the best reaction. I'm sorry.
Folks, if you guys get to watch this, make sure you click the like button on the video. Show me some love. And if it's your first time and you enjoyed this, please click that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. Will really help out with the channel. We are almost at 1K. We have grown tremendously over the last couple weeks. Let's keep that motivation going. Let's keep the promotion running. And make sure you guys check out all my links in the link tree in the description box. With that said, I'm Conrad Cushman. This is Derek. Peace.